Welcome back to Geronimo Jack's Beard. I am Sidekick 22.
I'm Jorge.
This.
Sidekick 22, Sidekick.
That's right.
You see, Sidekick 22 is like the main person. She's not the sidekick. Sidekick's just her name. That's part of her name.
Right, yeah, I'm not a sidekick.
She's actually named Sidekick.
Right.
That's what's...
At birth.
That's what's different. It's like, I knew a guy once, his name was Second Banana, and he was actually the top banana.
This is episode...
You're the only one who's going to laugh at that.
This is episode 613, The Last Recruit.
Yes. Today's Monday. Today was Evangeline's last day. It's kind of weird.
It is weird. This is the last week. Your last day is Thursday, right?
Oh, man. Emerson has a tough schedule tomorrow. His original call time was 2 a.m.
Shut up.
Yeah, but...
Why?
They did some tweaking. Now it's like 5:30 a.m.
Why?
What?
Why would it be 2 a.m.? Wouldn't that technically be still today?
It's like it's almost like going into work to start doing night shoots. Yeah, it was really kind of weird.
Yeah, the shooting schedule has been pretty bad.
All right, let's get into listener emails.
All right, first up.
Oh man, this one's... Go ahead.
We have Mike Gieleher. Gieleher? Geeleher. From Gieleher. From Manchester, England. Just a thought for Sidekick 22. Why don't you stop interrupting Jorge so much and give us a chance to listen to his jokes? He could have a Just Jorge section and then I could skip your bits. I mean, the reason we're listening is for him, not you. Don't get me wrong, sometimes you are funny, but it's a very long podcast and I'm a busy guy. I shouldn't have to sift through what you say in order to appreciate Jorge's funnies. Love the show, well, 10% of it as it currently stands. Your most critical yet loving fan, Mike. Aww.
Wow.
That was so nice of him.
Mike, please stop being a douche and stop listening to Geronimo Jack's Beard. Jake from Bowhurst, England. That's what I'm going with. My question is something that used to worry me a little. How exactly did they get baby Aaron's to cry on cue? Did Emily DeRavin give him a little pinch or a shake?
Oh my god. Actually, I can answer that question. Every week that they were shooting and they needed the baby to cry, they had Mike Gieleher send the baby an email. And then the baby cried, like for a whole week, because he was so rude.
Jesus. More importantly, from really,
isn't it just a fake, another, like a track, like a laugh track kind of thing where a baby's crying and then they show the baby if it happened to cry?
I don't know. If you were shooting the show with us, I guess the real question would be, how exactly did we get the baby Aarons to not cry?
And how do we get the baby Nunus to not bark?
There was one that the baby cried. When Charlie takes baby Aaron and he's down by the water and he's going to baptize him in the crashing waves. And there's a moment that he had to yell back at like Locke or whatever, and he yelled really loud and it woke up the baby, and the baby got really, she started crying. But, I don't know, baby, it's not too hard to get the baby to cry. I don't remember any pinching going on.
Yeah, I would imagine they're not hurting the baby in any way.
That'd be kind of
that'd be awful.
Lame. Maybe they'll just, like, give them, like, a pacifier and then pull it from them right when they're going. But usually it's more, but I agree. Having a baby that's not crying is a lot easier than having a baby that's crying. In fact, the baby just starts crying like going, okay, we're rolling. The baby's crying, go. It's kind of, there's a lot of that. A lot of times we're going like that.
Hugo, not Reyes, from Montreal, Canada, emailed us. I was rewatching the season premiere of Lost in French yesterday, and as always, I found the dubbing horrible. Personally, I think that the voices are so different from the original actors. It got me wondering if either of you have ever heard Hurley in other languages, and what was your opinion on it. I attached an MP3 file for the season premiere. This is the scene where Hurley is talking to dead Jacob near the Dharma van. Here is the clip. Let's listen to it.
Ah, my great bundle of sweetness. It is love, love, love at sight first. No? Is it not? No, yes? Oh, the mad rush of hot blood to the temples.
Wait a minute, that's not the clip.
Okay, here it is.
Où est-ce qu'on va? Et qu'est-ce que vous foutez là? Je veux dire, je vous rencontre dans un taxi, je vois que vous savez tout de ma vie, vous me filez un billet d'avion, l'avion s'écrase et paf, me revoilà sur l'île. Comment vous saviez que ça m'arriverait?
Well, that was really French. I ended up I have heard that. I have and I met my Italian voice when I was in Rome. I made a little compilation of the scene from season 1 where Hurley and Charlie go fishing together, and I dubbed it in all the different voices, and I kind of made like a little compilation of it, just to kind of entertain myself. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my voice. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun and weird to see and hear when we air in other countries. Andrew from California. Do you guys have any funny prank stories from the set? And which cast member is the biggest prankster?
That seems to be a question that a lot of people ask. Like they think that
it's all goofiness.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a while.
I haven't heard
There's
of
a period
anything.
of time when Foxy and I were trying to get each other's pants wet in different unique ways. At one point, I ended up putting ice cubes in his pockets in his dressing room so that they would melt. And apparently that was where I had crossed the line because I had attacked his civilian clothes as opposed to his wardrobe, which was what was, normally doing. I mean, we're always because we always have that spray bottle handy. That's the main one. There's always that spray bottle that we keep to spray fake sweat on us, which is, water. And the last time I think I hit Foxy was when he put, after I had sprayed myself, I turned the spray bottle to stream so that when he went to spray himself, he just got like one long stream. Shoot him in the face. That's the hilarious pranks of Lost.
Nick from Tampa, Florida asks, how did Nunu get her role on Lost? Was the director specifically looking for a dog and you volunteered her, or was she given a cameo because people liked her when you brought her to set?
It's like you can't be related to someone without people claiming nepotism. Nunu, there was a big casting call. They saw, what was it, 200-300 dogs?
Yeah, something like that.
And Nunu is the cutest, so she got the job. No, they were looking for stuff to fill the that opening montage because what they had written in the script wasn't going to be enough, so they ended up adding, so many more different ideas, which is like the whole thing at the zoo with the elephant, I think, was added, and the Nunu at the Humane Society was added, and they just asked if I would be willing to bring her along and make a part of it, because we really shot at the Humane Society. I mean, I guess we could have grabbed any dog, but it was just easy, when the dog knows you, and they caught her really right, with her mouth open like that. It was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, she was much better behaved than she is right now when we're trying to record this podcast. Hey, Kevin Presley of the Presleys. The Apollo chocolate bar appears often in the show, and I have a question about it. In the scenes where you / other characters eat it, what brand of chocolate is it? In your interview for Lost, did they ask you your favorite chocolate for future reference?
Did they ask you?
That's the first thing they asked me, actually.
That is hilarious.
It was like, what's your name? And then they said, by the way, what's your favorite chocolate bar? The Apollo bars actually got better later. When were they introduced? Season 2?
Mm-hmm.
Season 2, the Apollo bar was a protein bar, like a chocolate-flavored protein bar, because it's not really chocolate, and so it wouldn't melt in the scenes.
Right.
And so that was this chewy, thick thing that was kind of hard to eat. When we got to do the night scene where I shared the bar with Michael Emerson, then they just use Snickers usually.
Last question. Jenny Cutler from Australia asks me, how much time do I actually get to spend on set watching, filming, or just keeping Jorge company? I would say I go maybe once every few weeks.
Yeah, I usually ban you from the set.
No, you don't. You ban me from your awesome chair.
Well,
I get that. It's your chair. But no, I mean, a lot of people have asked me, like, how come you get to read the scripts? Why does Sidekick 22 get to read the scripts, and why is she privy to all this information?
She steals them. It's because she steals them.
I don't steal them.
They get delivered to the house.
No, we read them
Sometimes I'm working. And
we read them, but...
You used to steal them and read them first before I did.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, wives, spouses, husbands, whatever. Like,
Yeah, I mean...
Come to the set, read the scripts.
Usually,
It's not like a, what?
Yeah. Spouses and girlfriends tend to be in the circle of trust because, you're automatically going to be privy to situations just because we are sometimes going to have conversations about what's going on in the show. It takes a big effort for people to be spoiler-free, like...
I tried to
Nestor's
when I first
wife.
started dating you. And Carrie. Emerson's wife.
Emerson's wife, too. Also, they really push to be spoiler-free.
I don't know how they can do that. Because it's kind of impossible when you're at places, and just like when they were here not too long ago, and we started talking about things, and she was like, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Let's get into the episode. We recorded this on February 16th, just one day after we recorded the last one.
Yeah,
we had a lot of scripts. Yeah, we had to catch up.
Right.
Here it is. Enjoy.
Hello, it's Geronimo Jack's Beard, episode 613, The Last Recruit. This is our 12th Geronimo Jack's Beard episode. The cast list for The Last Recruit, Zuleika is on the list. And I was like, what? Didn't we just blow her up?
I know, it just proves that if you die on Lost, you're not really dead, even though they say dead is dead.
Yeah, one of the...
doesn't pertain to the cast.
Yeah, one of the conveniences of having the alternate storyline is that people can live on. Also returning Andrea as Nadia, and Kimberly Joseph as Cindy is back with the kids.
I don't remember reading that they were there. But then I also, it was like, blah, 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 and here's Burdett. And I was like, who is Burdett?
Right, Burdett.
Is he introduced in this one, or do I not remember him from
That's
the one?
what I was thinking when he came up, too.
Okay.
Like, I wondered if what his deal was. There's something about Burdett that was interesting, if you may have noticed. Because Burdett is in amongst the others. Should we just get into Burdett right now? Or?
Sure, that's fine.
Burdett is in amongst the others. But one thing you'll notice is the rest of the others are barefoot. Burdett has sneakers on. He's the shod other.
Well,
Like
the
that?
temple others
Shod?
had bare feet.
Like what I said, shod.
Yeah.
It's one of two things. Because he wears shoes, I was like, that's weird. And I had...
You think that it's a thing that Damon and Carlton wrote in that he'd wear shoes, or he just didn't want to wear it? Maybe he's got warts on his feet or something.
No, I think just because... I think he was given shoes... He might have been given shoes kind of out of a certain amount of convenience. Or somehow he's a mole. Like, I imagine him being a mole for, like, Widmore because... Wait a minute. That guy's got shoes on! But... The other thing is, we might not see Burdett's feet in the show. So we might not even know he's barefoot.
Right. But that's what I'm saying, is maybe just the actor wanted to wear shoes. He didn't want to wear... Maybe because he stepped on a rusty nail.
Maybe.
On set. And then he had to get a tetanus shot. That hurt really bad. And then maybe...
Beth went to visit the set. My cousin was in town, and she went to show him around where the temple... was built and stepped on a rusty nail and had to get a tetanus shot. How's your arm, by the way?
It's all right.
Should we go in order, or are you just going to jump around?
Well, I mean, I think we should start at the beginning.
Okay.
It picks up right where it left off from your episode, with Locke in the back of the ambulance, and Emerson is with him, and
right.
and they're going to the hospital, and
That's what we call opening hot.
is that what it says?
We open hot with the ambulance. Yeah.
And then they get him to the hospital, and then obviously the big thing there is Son pulls up in a gurney next to him, and she freaks out and says, it's him, it's him.
I wonder if that's another one of these kind of near-deathy kind of things. Or it seems like moments of great stress
Yes.
or extreme love cause
Yes.
you to remember the island.
That's what I was going to say is any strong emotion.
It makes you
Love,
see the island.
pain, makes you see your other life.
So after all this leadership Hurley did in getting them over to have this meeting with John Locke, he hands over the reins pretty quickly.
Yeah. I know, it kind of went, it was like, oh, it's gone.
All right, listen,
well.
you got us here. You mind if I take over? And I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead, you take
Yeah.
over. Just because I'm afraid of him.
Oh, so Man in Black, Demon Locke tells Jack, I was Christian.
Yeah, so we have official confirmation, really.
Yeah. So we have official
sure.
confirmation that he was Christian, and official confirmation that he's been other dead people, because he said I was whoever at first, right? And then he says, who else have you been? Or he says he's Locke, obviously. But then he says, who else have you been? And then doesn't Jack say something like, oh, so you have to wait for them to die in order to become them or something? But the thing that I
He
didn't
really
get,
rips on John Locke, too.
He does? What do you mean?
He rips on him. He's like, because he was stupid enough to believe that he was brought here for a reason.
Oh, Man in Black does.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, it's like...
He had to be dead before he could look like him? That's right. Who else have you looked like? Jack, what are you doing? And he tells me he's his dad.
Right, he tells him he's dead. And then he says, why? And he says, because you needed water.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my thing is...
There's an ocean full of water, man.
Yeah. No, dummy. No, my point is, if Man in Black is bad guy, and also is trying to kill the candidates, or whatever, he needs the candidates to be,
Yeah.
why would he lead them to water? Why would he help them? Why?
He needs to recruit them.
But he doesn't need to. He if they die, it's the same thing. Hasn't that been said that if Jacob is dead, he can leave? If the candidates are dead, then he can leave? Isn't that why the bloody boy was like, you can't kill him? You needed water. But why? Why would he help? He's the bad guy so far. I mean, we keep that, it's at the beginning it was like, well, now we don't know. Like in the beginning of the season it was like, now we don't know. Is Man in Black the bad guy and the good guy and Jacob's the bad guy? Who's bad? Good and evil, black and white. But I have seen nothing that's
Doesn't he need to
that's
convince
not said
people
he's
to
evil.
get off the island with him?
Right. Either they need to leave with him or die.
Or die, really, or die.
I could have sworn that. Then why what is the difference? Why did they have to leave with him? If Jacob needed to die in order for him to leave, can he kill the candidates? Or he can't kill himself, but can't the candidates die and then he can still leave? Why, regardless if he wanted them to die of thirst, why would he help them? It'd be different to me if, like, all of a sudden Jack sees his dad, it's Christian, and he leads him to water to get him, to recruit him, to get him to trust Christian. You know what I mean? Like, I led you to water, I'm your dad, but I'm the ghost of whatever. And he's trying to get him on his side. He could have recruited Jack like that. I don't remember the Man in Black trying to recruit anybody before.
Because he didn't
So
need
why
to
would
recruit
he
people
help?
while Jacob was still alive.
He obviously knows where that he knew where that cave thing was that we saw episodes ago with the names.
Of course,
on
he
it.
led people there already.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Because there's dead bodies there.
Dead bodies where?
In the caves.
No. I'm talking about the thing with the names on the ceiling in like episode 8 episodes ago or whatever that was.
Right.
He knew that existed. He knew that the names were up there. He knew who the people were.
Yeah.
So my point is, if he showed Jack to water in order to gain his trust, then why didn't he show up again and say, hey, Jack, and start talking to him? He never talked to Jack as Christian, as the ghost of Christian or whatever. If Demon Locke right then would have said, you needed water and I needed you, I wanted to start recruiting you, or something to the effect of, and I was going to start using you, and I wanted to gain your trust so I could use you, then that would be more believable, besides, you needed water, well, you were thirsty. Why would you want them to live if you're evil? Doesn't make sense. So yeah,
I hear you.
that's that subject. We still are unclear as to what, I mean, it's been this broad subject of what is going to happen to the entire world if he leaves. We've heard people say, if you let that Black Smoke Man, or whatever he is, if you let Man in Black off the island, the world as you know it is over, or whatever. Your whole family will be gone, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So if he leaves, my theory is he is going to leave, and this is the other world. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What?
Like, Desmond doesn't have Penny yet. I mean, he has him now, because he's seeing this other world. People are starting to see the other world, but I think if Man in Black leaves, it changes your universe. Son is shocked.
But
you know what I mean?
It seems like Man in Black leaves, it's like all hell breaks loose.
Well, that's what I thought originally, like, just the world, the end of the world or something.
Yeah, right.
But now I'm thinking, like, okay, they've been saying, like, if
just
he
like
gets
the
off
end
the
of
island,
your world?
Yes.
Interesting theory. Mm-hmm. My next note, you don't talk to Hurley about the dark side unless you're going to apply the trilogy.
Could we have one more Star Wars reference in this nerdy show?
Yes. Could
Jesus.
Could we have at least one more Star Wars reference?
Could it come from some other cast member?
No.
You gotta be... You're telling me that. I don't think so. I mean, I know he made fun of you in an earlier episode for it, but I'm sorry, but I know Miles has seen Star Wars and liked it. I guarantee you. I know that Sawyer has seen it. And I guarantee you, Jack has seen it.
Who doesn't know who Anakin is, for God's sake?
I even know who he is. And
you haven't even seen the movies.
I know.
Maybe if you stopped watching Harry Potter over and over again, you could take a moment
no way.
and pause and see. They're right there above the TV.
No, it's alright. I've sort of seen them. I don't need to see them. I get the references that people make. I don't need to see it. It's not my deal.
Kind of like me and Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I've sort of seen them, like, they've been on, and I've been around in the room and stuff, and...
Yeah, but Harry Potter came from
I know
books.
what a Horcrux is.
You can read the book.
I don't read children's books.
Oh! Let's move on. He's gone to the dark side. Right, okay, so you just said...
an awkward hug with Claire.
It was awkward when you guys shot it?
No, it's supposed to be awkward.
Oh, because you're like, hey, you look crazy.
Yeah,
right.
I thought about doing it, like, full on, like I believed it. Like, hey, Claire, you look great! But,
no.
Yeah.
But, when did you shoot this?
A couple weeks ago. We shot up at Cavilla Bay a lot. Up at Turtle
Lord.
Bay. All that Locke's camp is under that big banyan tree.
No, that's the banyan tree that Sawyer was tortured on, right? I read that somewhere.
Oh, really?
It's like a big
It
banyan
might
tree.
also be... I feel like that might be the banyan tree that Kate hides in, even. Like,
Probably.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You know what, though? I've always thought that was really cheesy, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We use that banyan tree a lot.
But I do like when Jack, in Season 3, one of my most favorite, for some reason, my most favorite parts of the entire show, when Jack... in Season 3 is doing the surgery, and then he cuts Ben, and then he grabs the walkie, and he's like, give me Kate. And he's talking to Kate.
Right.
And he's like, you go to that island, and you tell me that story. Do you remember
Damn it,
it?
Kate.
He's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, Kate, damn it, run. I remember seeing that and being like, that was good. It gave me a little bit of chills. I like that part.
Good.
So back into the precinct, Miles and so Josh is Sawyer is talking to Kate about you know, we were thrown together or whatever, and she's kind of like, whatever, dude, you're like totally hitting on me, and I'm wanted for murder. And then Miles comes into the room and he's like, hey, we got a call, we got a 5708 schmapty poondangle, something or other going on. And he's like, they look at the video surveillance and they see that Saeed fled the area of where San got shot.
Right.
And the whole Kimi thing went down. And Miles, they pause the surveillance thing, and it says, Miles says, there's our bad guy. And I think it was underlined. So I'm like, But I mean, Saeed has seemed pretty, like, the whole thing with at the well, like, he seems like he's still Saeed.
The gunfighter scene was Zoe and Locke. That's where we meet Burdett.
Oh, that's your favorite. Do you want to tell them what you were planning on doing that day?
What?
Remember you came to me and you're like, babe, I gotta tell you something. So I have this scene today that I'm gonna do, and there's a line in it, and it says, and I say, who is this girl about Zoe? and somebody says, that's Widmore's number 2. And you're going to go, ew. Number 2.
Poop? I forgot about that.
Did you?
Just
You didn't do it. Ooh, no blooper reel for that one.
Just in rehearsal. So there's a scene. There's that, the showdown with Burdett and Zoe and Locke and blowing up the tree and stuff. And then he breaks the walkie-talkie with his magic stick.
No, Locke
Locke
crushes
does.
it with his boot, it said.
I was there.
Yeah, but in the script it says he lifts up his foot and crushes it with his foot.
I know, but...
So what's his magic stick? The thing that he was sharpening
That
or
big
whatever?
stick that he was like, is that a spear?
So that's what he did? That's what he used to kill the walkie-talkie?
There might be another purpose, but so far, that's what it is. And I don't know if that came later, if that was something they said, hey, use the stick instead.
Yeah, because the script,
Since you've been working
the
on this
script
stick.
says boot. The boot. Look
You know
at my
what made me
boots.
chuckle? In the Claire Desmond scene that follows it? This is them going to see Alana, right?
Yeah.
Claire says, I had a bit of a scare, actually. I ended up in the hospital. You were right. It's a boy. And Desmond says, I have a nose for these things.
Ew. He smelled it?
No, it's just because Ian's got a pretty solid
Oh my
nose.
gosh, you are mean.
It's not mean. It's not mean.
I like noses actually.
He's got a strong nose. I thought it's kind of funny. I think he should. Hopefully, he said it with a little bit of a wink.
Oh, I don't think he did.
Why? You think he's got a nose complex?
Maybe.
Oh.
He shouldn't because it's attractive. There's something in the shady blood that we all love people with unique looking noses. Although your nose isn't that unique looking. Kind of.
No, it's just perfect.
Sure, buddy.
My nose has been my best feature on many lists when people have discussed it in the Hair and Makeup trailer.
Wait, so Ilana's...
Speaking with an American accent.
Wait, I didn't read that anywhere. She has an American accent? Her last name is Verdansky? Wasn't she Russian to begin with? Didn't Saeed meet her in Russia? So doesn't Verdansky sound like a Russian name?
But it says here, Ilana, our Ilana, entering the room. She's the lawyer, and guess what? She has no trace of an accent here. She speaks utterly American English.
Really? I didn't even read that part.
You should have read closer.
So she was... Oh, so they're saying... That's confusing. Why would that happen? So
because she went to America when she was very young.
With who?
I always sing that song in American Tale. Won't it be nice when we get to America? In America, there are no cats.
All right. So
Loxen.
she's the lawyer that we find out later that Jack... Because remember in episode 605, they're like, they find the will, and they're like, who the heck is Claire Littleton? So then they're looking for her.
Yeah.
And so we see that later with... I didn't get the whole thing with why David needed to be in this episode, Jack's son.
To show that they're friends.
To show that that everything's cool with them now. He
That
wants
we're
to stay
better
with
now.
him later.
We're better
in the night.
now.
And then, but the thing is, like, then David goes with him to the hospital, and Jack's like, you cool just sitting here? Like, while I perform surgery for, like, 9 hours?
Yeah.
Wouldn't, like, a surgery like that take hours?
Well, Jack is a superstar surgeon.
He is, I guess.
Maybe he does it faster. Does he talk about the dural sac in this episode, too?
Yes. They love...
It's like
the only medical term they know
yeah,
or something.
it's like they have, like, a medical term a day calendar. And they got dural sac, and they couldn't wait. He's like, oh, dural sac. I got to use that more often. Dural sac. Because, like, Jack Shepard is the dural sac
King
repair expert.
Well, it makes sense because your dural sac is in your back. Isn't that your...
Yeah, but he, like, if you have a dural sac issue, I'm saying, like, even though his specialization is spinal surgery.
Right.
But if it's dural sac's your issue, get Jack Shepard. How many times has dural sac occurred in the series Lost? That word. I mean, you've counted the dudes. Count the dural sac. It'll be a few. It'll be a lot less.
What you got?
I got Locke sent Saeed to kill Desmond.
Yeah, we kind of discussed that one already.
And...
But what about Locke sends Sawyer and Kate to get the boat, and then he wants you guys to meet them over on the other island, but Sawyer's like,
Yeah, well,
that's
hold
not
on.
the real
What
plan.
about Locke sends Sawyer, and Sawyer grabs Kate to come with.
Right.
And
then he tells
then
people to fall back, doesn't
she
he?
looks back at Jack, kind of, or Jack looks at them as they leave, and
Right.
it's like, triangle is still in full swing. Desmond talks to Saeed and touches his heart
What?
like he touched mine. And he doesn't kill her.
Oh, Dre out
Kill
of
him.
L.A. Wait, what happens? Who touches whose heart?
That's what the reason. You said it already. Really, it's like Saeed. I'm just finally there in my notes.
at the well?
Yeah, at the well.
Oh, Desmond
Saeed
touches Saeed.
doesn't kill because he got his heart touched again.
Was it Desmond who touched Saeed's heart?
Yes, he touched
that
Saeed's
one
heart
episode?
in the Constant. I have Claire knowing that Jack's her brother, and then we make the run for it. Where are you right now?
Well,
Can we talk about this or something else?
The flash sideways where Saeed goes into the house and then he's caught by Sawyer at the back of the house.
Oh yeah, I didn't write anything down about that. What about?
There was really nothing to write. I mean, that's really all.
It's just like that's happening.
It was like really quick flash
Yeah, it
sideways. Claire knows, like you said, Claire knows that Jack is her brother
Right.
because Man in Black told her.
right.
I'm confused about the relationship between Claire and the Man in Black.
Yeah, well, she trusts him. I think it's like she kind of.
But you would trust someone who's like, yeah, I was pretending to be your dad. I'm really not your dad now. Now I'm this other guy. But I'm also Black Smoke. Like, what? That's bizarre.
Well, yeah, but let's face it. Claire's been alone for 3 years there, and hasn't had no one to talk to except her dad or
Yeah.
Man in Locke. And I don't think Man in Locke looked like Locke. I think he was basically her dad up until they brought Locke's body. We make the escape move on the march.
Yeah. Locke
And-
says, I'm gonna go make sure that nobody fell behind or whatever, and then Jack, like, grabs
Right.
you and
That's his.
son and
That's
the
his
fetus.
moment. I'm hoping this gets cut out. Actually,
Why?
there's a moment. It says Claire sees us
Yeah, and she's kind of like, what's
run
going
off.
on?
Yeah, I think it might be more exciting if we don't see the fact that Claire sees us and she just
And then
shows
she just
up
shows
at
up
the boat dock.
Why?
Because don't you think kind of tips the hand when you see her see us?
Well, to me, when I read it and it said she saw you, I thought she was about to run and go get Locke and be like, hey, they left. Like, I thought you were going to be in trouble.
Good. Well, we were in trouble.
But by her, and then she got on the boat with you and she's your friend. And then you start to sail, and then Jack jumps off the boat, right?
Yeah.
Now he's a man of faith or whatever?
Yeah, but we haven't shot that part yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, okay. So he hops off the boat and then he swims back to the shore, and you guys, I mean, one of the big things that people have been waiting for forever in this episode happens when you guys finally get to the Hydra Island and Jin and Sun are reunited. You guys get there
Right.
and Zoe is there, and Sun sees Jin and she's like, hey, what's up? Oh my gosh, I'm speaking English again, because that's what it took, is seeing your beautiful face or whatever.
The reunion between Sun and Jin, where do you think it will be on the level of the moment between Penny and Desmond?
I really can't say. I mean, I knew it was coming, and so reading it, I was kind of like, oh yeah, this is where it happens. It wasn't like, oh, to me, but you never know once the Giacchino kicks in and
Yeah.
they have the slow-mo or whatever, and she's crying and he's crying, whatever happens, then it'll, the whole show, I mean, like, doing this based off of the scripts is a fun idea, and it's, but at the same time, I just find myself understanding everything way better once you get to see it, once you see the looks in their eyes, and you have the music with it and everything that makes it go together more. It's easier to understand, and it's more enjoyable, obviously, than just reading the script.
Yeah, for me, it's more like stuff like, oh, I can't wait to see how that ends up getting cut together. There's like
Right.
a lot of stuff that's like, well, I can't wait to see how that's going to look, and
Yeah.
it just kind of makes me more anxious to see it.
I have no notes left, and I have hunger in my belly.
Okay. Stay
May
beardy.
all your days
Be beardy.
be beardy.
Post-episode wrap-up. Go.
We did not open hot.
We did not open hot.
The script, once again, the island stuff and the flash sideways were all out of order.
They reflect.
So, yeah, he didn't open with John in the ambulance. One thing that was the biggest thing that was a change from the script to the episode was the rewrite on page 8 with Claire and Jack talking. When she says, well, once you let him talk to you, that was it. You're with him or whatever. That was not in the original script.
Yeah, we were confused because we were like, we don't remember this scene, but it was still white pages in the script.
You should explain that.
And
real quick, as far as white pages.
Well, what happens is as rewrites come through, your first script is white, and then they start changing the color pages for rewrites. So you kind of know how far and which rewrite came after which, should you have not updated your script yet. And
there's like pink, blue, yellow, green.
Yeah, there's all
And then once,
goldenrod, my favorite.
Goldenrod, and then it goes back to white.
And then ours go back to white. There's like a set rule. I don't know if we follow the rule exactly as most people do, but that's the way we did it. And so when we turned it was in white pages, and we were like, well, it's white. And then we realized that it was a rewrite that was so far down the line that it was the new white pages.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that wasn't in there originally.
This was
But
definitely a tweaking. This was episode got some writing tweaks for sure. Yeah, I was kind of interested in that Jack and Locke leave at nighttime, and when they come back, it's morning. So it's like they were out there in the woods all night long, just chatting it up, talking about feelings.
Oh, so last night I got a text from my brother saying, hey, I think I just saw Ethan on a Red Lobster commercial. And so we were like making sure, we were like slowly going through the commercials as we watched it right now.
Yeah.
Looking for him. And it did kind of look like him.
So if you taped it.
Yeah, if you have it on your DVR.
Go ahead, back it up. In fact, while you're backing it up, you can also see the scene where I'm out of focus in the background when Sawyer and Jack are talking. And everyone's like doing stuff, and I'm sitting there, and all they gave me was a canteen. And you can only do so much with a canteen, so I'm just kind of like sitting there, opening the canteen, looking inside it, closing the canteen.
Wait.
And because
I just gave you a prop and said, just do something?
Here, you're here, whatever, everyone's prepping.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like, I still got to be there in the background, sitting on that piece of wood.
Right.
Meanwhile, Claire's like putting mangoes in pantyhose and taking it out
I think
again.
it was you said, I don't think it was pantyhose. I think it was like a big long sock, like a winter sock. Because it didn't look as clear as pantyhose.
Oh.
Panty.
All right, it was a sock. I think it was a sock.
But yeah, she's stuffing mangoes into a sock.
She stuffs mangoes.
That's the way she travels with them?
That's her craziness.
Oh, true.
Oh, another thing that we thought was pretty funny was when we come out of the water. We come from the water, and she says, like, who else is with you?
Oh, Zoe?
Yeah. So like off camera, we're always like looking over our shoulders, being like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah, who else would be? Well, who knows? Maybe.
Aquaman. Hey, folks, you can. That's all. Oh, that's our music. That means the show is over.
You know what that means?
You can be a fan of us on our Facebook page. You can what?
You sound drunk when you start to do this ending.
Because I don't know. I need this stuff written down.
Okay.
It's like what happens is you start it and then you point at me and I'm like, what have
I don't even know if people even listen to this part at the end.
What haven't
They
we
probably already
said?
turned off
Yeah,
their
fast
iPod.
forward to the ending. Just check out the blog spot. Everything's there.
Yeah, exactly. GeronimoJacksper.blogspot.com.
They'll lead you everywhere you need to go.
All right.
Oh, and thanks for those of you taking the time out of your busy lives to listen.
To listen to me.